Oh, you little... Well, gonna be placing an order for a new one at this rate. Anyway guys, welcome. Here we are already with a new update. That did not take long, did it? Which is pretty great. Compared to the last Retroid, it seems like the team are on it this time. We are on a 1.9, making it our second update. It's not a big update at all. They seem to be going for little ones more often and listening to customers' feedback. Before I go ahead and go through what the update applies, I recently did do a video regarding the best front ends for the Retroid Pocket 2 Plus. I promised to quickly go through each one and I missed the one that is built in. I'll quickly do that and I'll mark a timestamp up here on where I go ahead and explain what the extras bring with this update, as it is all focused on the front end anyway. If you lot wouldn't mind just being so kind and hitting that like and subby, if this content and further retro game goodness is your jam, that would be smashing. So anyway, on to part 1. With this system having a built-in front end to a custom launcher and now having dedicated support is really having the edge to the rest of the competition out there. But how well does it run? You'll see the shortcut to the emulation at the bottom of the screen. A straight to boot LAN feature would be nice. As you can see, I already got a few systems going. To add games and systems is pretty simple here. Head to the systems, as you can see at the bottom, and add the ones that you like. A list of the available systems have grown pretty nicely from its first update. We're still missing a couple, but nothing major. We are only adding the image tile here. Now to add ROMs, click on your selected system and click ROMs at the bottom of the screen. Click add and then just locate your ROMs. Make sure that you got that box text next to it. You can add multiple folders per system, which is a nice touch. Click scan and you're underway. Game art is automatically downloaded and you can force MD5 check to pull in a better name title to make compatibility better to download art. If there's no luck, you can still manually link up art on your device or just go through the Google search and download it and it should link it straight away. I found this not as compliant as Dig. If you're wondering what are the compatible ROM types per system, here is a short list. The systems that I found that need a BIOS file to get up and running are as follows. You can place the BIOS files within the same folder as the ROMs for that system, or you can put them all in one folder named BIOS and make sure you link up this front end to locate the BIOS to that. Now with your newly added system, with all your ROMs now ready, we just need to link up an emulator. Head to the edit at the bottom of the screen and you'll see a list of compatible emulators. On the very top section, make sure that you got RetroArch installed first, of course, and make sure you got that necessary core installed. Before doing so, I got the 64-bit version downloaded from their website, as the Play Store version does have some limited use. Using RetroArch with this front end does have its own default hotkeys layout. This originally did spin me out because I was used to using Dig as a front end and using RetroArch from that, and that did have its own hotkeys layout the way I set it up. Here's a little picture of what the hotkeys are using this front end. So now we're all set up and ready. This front end does have some great compatibility and simple use. One major downfall that I do find is this lack of customization with no layout features. Another feature would be nice is to have individual ROM settings to link up to an individual emulator in case of any certain compatibility issues. Some game info as well would be nice, and a straight into LAN boot to this page would be good as well. This front end does hold up and work really well, especially compared to the rest out there, and I think they have done an awesome job. Of course, I love to hear what your comments of what you would like to get more out of this. So now let's head to part 2. Well, congrats if you managed to stick with me for this long, well done. We are now on about the update of 1.9. This is a bit of a small update and it is saying that is added a new list view mode, support for search games within the launcher, and there's another small feature that I will mention later on in this video. And now it does support the TF card as internal storage. A TF card is just a version of an SD card, which is not that common, but if you managed to pick one by mistake and you popped it in and wondered why there wasn't compatible, now it is. It is very similar to the SD card, so it was quite easy to get that confused. I didn't have any issue with my 64 gig SanDisk, so I never thought there was an issue anyway. Before you go ahead and update, like with any update in the past or in the future, make sure that you've got at least 80% battery, otherwise it just won't go ahead and process. Now let's go ahead and see now if we're all good. Yep, no problem here. We're now at 1.9. Now head to the built-in front end and just choose any system, and you will now find a new find icon, a view icon and some letters on the side. Head to the right hand side, you can scroll now through arrangement of letters, which is very handy when you have a large ROM set. It is still not that effective though, as I did find some trouble of it laying out properly. This does need a bit of an update to make sure they are arranged by its allocated letter. So I won't be relying on that for much now. The find system does work very well though, placing all the ROMs with that search name. Very handy. The biggest feature here though is the view mode. You will now see a list on the name on the left hand side, and then on the right hand side you see the box art of the image. Now this does have the right aspect ratio this time, as there's plenty more room now for the image to fit. I think now this is my preferred layout. They're looking very smarter. Another small fix is the animation of heading back to your systems folder. There used to be a long animation scrolling to the first system, and now you just press back to your systems and it just pops there straight away. The experience of using this front end is very smooth and very fast. Just some of the problems I have mentioned throughout this video do need some touching up. One feature that I would like to see is the Redream app to boot with Dreamcast games. It's very 50-50 that it will boot straight away into a game, otherwise we'll just boot into the app menu. I've also came across this bug that likes to pop up now and then when I'm moving the R stick around. It's only happened just twice, and it just indicates that you should head back to the main menu. Very weird. Though this is a welcoming update, some work still needs to be made, as I've been mentioning throughout this video. I'm very happy that the Retroid Pocket 2 Plus is getting some direct support and updates, unlike most of the rest of the competition out there. So I'm looking forward to the future updates for the Retroid Pocket 2 Plus, and I appreciate you guys for watching. And as always, if you liked it, hit that button. If you want to help me support this channel, click subscribe, leave your comments below, and I'll catch you lot on the next video.